Welcome to the Besties Podcast on Besties Radio.
Whenever I need motivation or encouragement, I listen to the Besties Podcast on Besties Radio every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hi, my name is Summer, and you are listening to the Besties Podcast on Besties Radio every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hello, and welcome again to another episode of our Besties Podcast. Today, we have Mr. Omar Rice, my bro, my homie. I've known him since like sixth grade, I think. So it's been a minute. And we have Miss Crystal, our co-host, sipping her wine and hot chips. So we're going to talk to Omar about his new book, and he's also a musician. So go ahead, Omar. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you have going on these days.
So name's Omar Rice. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm a teacher by schooling. So I'm an educator, and I'm a writer and a musician. I spent a lot of my years doing music, but I also kind of wrote in the in between, and I decided to compile everything and put a book together. The book is called The Love Unsaid, and it's been out for a year now. So just trying to get the word out,
Okay. So what compelled you to write the book, and what exactly is the book about?
So this book in particular is about all the different facets of love, and all the ins and outs, and trying to be the best version of yourself so you can kind of become love, and walk in it, and not just romantically, but just like as we interface with other people, and be as love. For me, basically, I write. I just write all the time. Like, I have notebooks and notebooks of poetry, thoughts, little short stories, and things like that. And what happened was I lost the job that I was doing for about 16 years, and and like I was sitting at home, like while I was looking for a new job, a new gig. I just started looking at all the stuff that I had. I had created a Instagram page, Omar Rice, and I just had all these kind of like poems and like prose and little stories and things on there. And I just took all. It was about 400 pieces by then. So it's like maybe I can compile them and make them into a book. So it ended up being like three books worth, but so I compiled it, and I was like, well, I was going to put it all in one book, and just have like a 200 page thing, but I was like, I have enough material to actually put them into sections. So one will be about love, one will be about like yourself and self-improvement, I guess, and or self introspection, and then I also a photographer, so I'm going to I'm going to pair some of the writing with some of my photography in the third book. But I was like, which pairing will go best? What people get with the best for my own kind of coming out party. And I was like, well, everybody can kind of get behind love in some kind of way. So I just took all those things and put them together, and was like, okay, let's do that one. Let's do that one first.
Yeah, and that's different because right now nobody's really talking about love, especially when you listen to the music that's coming out. That's what's missing. Love songs, real R&B music. Do you still do music, or are you just focused on the writing now?
So I write. It's actually way harder. So I'm an independent artist. So I put the book out independently. I mean, it's not through a publisher or anything, and I put my music out independently. It's way easier to put a book out than it is to make an album. you have to get musicians, you have to get studio time, and all those things cost money. So I am still currently pursuing music. I just pivoted because it takes a lot to do one at a time, and I'm like, as a creative, I'm like, I want to do all of it. So like you
Right.
have to like kind of stop. It's like, all right, book now. I'm actually because the book is just kind of working and selling itself. I am writing new music now. So I have to like get back in that kind of frame of mind.
Okay.
So yes, is the short answer to that. Yeah.
Okay. And you still do photography too?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So how
Yep.
do you manage, just doing everything? Like especially when you're creative because I am too, like you said, your mind is always going. You're like, "Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Let me do this." And you're trying to do what you want to do everything and create all the time,
Mhm.
but you really do have to hone in. Do you have any a way of, focusing or some techniques to, discipline yourself?
Um, not specifically. It's just like what comes becomes salient. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
what comes to the foreground. So it's like I might really want to write some music, but I'll sit down and something like a poem or a piece will come out. I might like the only thing that's consistent is photography, because photography is kind of a hobby. So it's
Mhm.
like I like to go kind of explore. So like anytime I'm like out of the country, or like I like to walk on Kelly Drive, for people that's watching from Philly. I like to walk on Kelly Drive. So every time I'm walking there, that's like a 2.5 hour walk back and forth from like to the art museum to like Falls Bridge and back and forth. So like every time I'm walking up there, I see something different, or I see some
Mhm.
people that I kind of creep on, and and
Yeah.
different situations. So I guess the only thing I will say is like let whatever is in front of you happen. You know what I'm saying? And once, if you get the juice for it, or if you get the fire for it, then do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Um, like I've been trying to I've been trying to paint,
Mhm.
and like I work with little kids. Well, for the most of my adult life, I work with little kids. So I have a lot of patience, but like painting is like not my thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I can draw. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But paint, I just want to put something on canvas so bad, but I just
Right.
can't do it. So I'll sit here with the canvas, and I'll make something, and it'll look like something, and then like tomorrow I'll break it and throw it away, because I'm just like
Oh no.
I don't have no patience for it.
Right.
So like but I know it's in there, because I have done things that are actually sitting over on my table now, that I'm like, all right, that's cool. So it's in there, but that's not
Mhm.
that's not what's flowing right now. So and like for me, writing and music are the things that are usually at the top of those lists, that list, because it's like the things that I'm always thinking about.
Okay. Well, we
Mm.
have Simply Naima. She finally joined
How
in,
you
having some technical difficulties.
Hello, everybody. So sorry about my technical issues. I was
doing?
enjoying the conversation thus far, though.
I wanted to ask though, I know a lot of people in our group they want to write books, and for me, we want to build things that last far beyond us. Like we not just generational wealth, but we want to create a real legacy. And I think one of the ways to do that is to write a book.
Hmm.
It'll always be around. Your children can read it, and then people can find out about your life and things like that. So I think that's profound. Do you have any tips for newbies who want to get a book off the ground, but they're struggling to complete the book?
I mean, I guess it depends. Like I've several times sat down to try to write like the great novel, or different cultural things. But for me, when before pre-COVID, I would just go to a cafe and I would just sit down. Like I said, I have a million books of like just me writing stuff down, people watching, and I'm writing stuff down. So um, I for me it was a little bit easier, because that's just what I do in my spare time. Like I just like to
Mhm.
have a cup of tea and write. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I would say just write down anything you think. Like I said, the novel things are a little bit it's a little harder because you have to kind of outline that. You have to know where your story is going. And so that's something that I'm still trying to work on. So, I'm looking for advice for that as well. But just write, and set yourself, make yourself right. If you not make yourself right, but give yourself time to do it. A lot of the people I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of comedians and authors and things like that, and they just say like from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock, I just sit down with the pen in front of me and think about what comes. The other thing I will say though is that a lot of people say, um, make sure you're having experiences. Don't just like I think romantically we think, oh, I'm just going to lock myself away and get a typewriter and do this thing, and it's not really that. It's me traveling. It takes me an hour and like 20 minutes to get to work, so it's that commute, you know what I'm saying? And things are happening in my head while that's happening, and having an experience. You might see something that kind of inspires you. It's like, oh, I love the way that lady, did that thing on the L, or whatever it is. Have those
Mhm.
experiences. So, kind of keep filling yourself up with those kind of experiences.
And we have his link tree scrolling across the bottom. Make sure you grab his book.
Yes,
Um,
please.
yes, we want to support our brothers. And before we get into the actual topic today, I do want to shout out Dave Miller. He was going to be our additional guest today. Another awesome brother out here making waves in Philly. But he had an emergency. His information is going to be scrolling across the bottom as well. He has a bottle order company, and he also has a clothing line, Peace and Love Attire and Philly Goodwater. So make sure you check that out. Um, and we want to highlight a man crush Monday and a woman crush Wednesday. So we want to highlight those today. Naima's going to do that, and then we're going to talk about just relationships, like how do you handle relationships when you're an entrepreneur, just from a male perspective. I know a lot of times women in our group especially talk about their spouse not being supportive or their significant other. So we're going to talk about that a little bit right after Naima. Let's go now. Man crush Monday, woman crush
Yes.
Wednesday.
So of course I'm somewhat biased, right? Khadija and I had this conversation, and we really wanted to just highlight some people that are local, that are pretty close to us, that are doing some significant things. And thank you, and I appreciate you, and I see you can go a real far away. And I just wanted to be intentional about making sure that we are recognizing some of our bestie bros on Mondays for our Man Crush Monday, and some of the wonderful women in our group, our besties that are doing some phenomenal things. So because I'm biased, the first Man Crush Monday is going to be my husband, Mark Wilson, because
Ooh, Mark.
he is amazing. Anytime we call on Brother Mark, he is there. My husband is the director of information technology at Imhotep Institute Charter High School. He is also a one-stop shop with regards to all things technology and financially related. So, in balancing being a good father, a wonderful husband, a great resource to, with regard to his career, and just being accessible and available whenever we need him to do something, whether it's with besties, whether it's with anything, whether it's with DJing, he's always there. So we appreciate
Mhm.
him and his efforts. So I want to recognize him, Brother Mark Wilson, okay, DJ, okay, Kappa, aka DJ Hurricane, for our first Man Crush Monday.
Hey.
And for our Woman Crush Wednesday, I would be remiss again if I didn't recognize first our one and only Khadija Alter Ego Phillips. I
Nikki.
cannot say enough about what Khadija does um, in her personal life, in her professional life, and just in community. She has so much that she wants to give. So, like with regard to what we're doing with Bestie, she's not just talking the talk; she's walking the walk. She's committed to everything that it is that she's doing, and it doesn't matter if it's twins hanging off of her head. It doesn't matter if she's at the emergency room. It doesn't matter, if she's at her own 9 to 5. Like she always does that with our mission in mind, and with you all in mind. So those are my first Man Crush Monday and Woman Crush Wednesday for this week. What I would encourage everybody to do, who's listening, submit a person that you would like us to us to highlight, because we have so many people doing so many wonderful things. And with all of the negative energy in the world, I really would like us to intentionally focus on some of the positive, wonderful things that so many people that we know are doing, and highlight that and share. So it's an opportunity for us to expand our network, but to also expand some love and some positivity. So that's our Man Crush Monday and our Woman Crush Wednesday for today.
Thank you, Nah. And that's important because you always hear people talk about, you don't give people their flowers while they're here. A lot of people are watching. They're
Yes.
watching what you're doing on the internet. They see what you're doing in the community, but nobody ever says anything. Then the person
Right.
suddenly passes away, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, she was such a great person, or he did so much for the community. And the whole time that person is feeling like, they're spinning their wheels and nobody sees what they're doing. So thank you, Nah. I appreciate it. Brother Mark is
Listen, you,
awesome.
we appreciate you. We know that you do it. We know that you're not doing it for the likes. Okay. So we appreciate
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Keep it up.
All right, thank you. So let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah.
So, are you in a relationship? Do you have any struggles with trying to stay creative, trying to run your business, but then also trying to keep things going on the love and personal side?
So yes, I am in a relationship. Shout out to sincerely Jericho. She's my women crush every day. She'll be
Oh.
here soon. I'm super excited. um, she does jewelry, so
Yay.
it's easier for me because she's also creative, right? So she does like metal work jewelry. She works with copper, and her piece is awesome. She just sent me something while we were waiting, but like so she's grinding, the whole time, like all week. We're if you see our text chain is crazy, but we don't like spend hours and hours on the phone or nothing like that. We kind of set aside the weekend to get together, especially during this time. Um, I would see her a lot more pre-COVID, but right now she actually takes care of her grandmother who's very old. So I'm not trying to like get get in that way and like
Hmm.
expose her to nothing. So I have her come over here and we hang out for the weekend. But yeah, it's so like I said, it's easier in that way because she understands the creative process. Like, I like to be silent and within myself a lot. Um, so it's not a lot of like I said, I would love to spend more time with her, but because of what we're doing right now, it's not possible. So a lot of it is her in her lab, me in my lab, and then we kind of just come together. Um, I don't know. I think the one of the barriers I think is kind of society has their own kind of rule book of what relationships are supposed to look like and be like, and this is my first like kind of real like I'm doing this
Hmm.
relationship in a long while. So I think I kind of had to break away from some of those old ideologies. I'm like, well, should I call her or should
Yeah.
what am I doing? And like pre cell phones and things like that, you go the whole day without talking to your lady, like what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So it's like, we was hyping when we got pagers. So like, what I'm saying, so you could do a little number thing. So I had to, kind of go within myself and say, well, what are the expectations? What am I looking for? Um, do I know that she loves me, and am I secure in how I feel about her? And then try to build a a format off of that, as opposed to kind of what it's supposed to look like, oh, who's that male friend that she has, or things like that. A lot of
Hmm.
things that are a lot of the ways that we do love in society right now are based off of like fear and other people that aren't in relationships. What I'm saying, well, I
Right.
wouldn't I wouldn't be like that if I was in a relationship. And
Right.
it's like so it's a lot of kind of breaking down old ideologies and kind of building up new stuff. So yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. It goes good for me for right now. It's going
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Crystal, do you have any experience with that? You're an entrepreneur as well. Crystal is the owner of Go Beautiful, my most favorite skincare line, keeps my melanin popping. You have any experience with that, trying to run your business, but also trying to keep your relationship going?
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle when you are in a relationship with someone who, not, I wouldn't say doesn't support you, but doesn't know how to support you, and doesn't understand how passionate you are about your business and what needs to happen. They do like the short term work, like if you need them to go to the post office or to run out for supplies, but all of the small little intricate details that goes into your business, they're not aware and don't understand it. So if they don't understand it, they're not supporting it. They only support like the good times when, sales are up and the money is flowing in, and the less work they have to do, from my experience. And when it comes to the darker side of being an entrepreneur, when sales are low, when things get a little hectic, things get really busy, where you're not able to spend time with them because you have to get orders out, you have to do your marketing campaign, you have to check inventory, and they start to feel neglected, and they want all of your time, and you can't give it to them, even though you're communicating like, hey, I need to get this done so then we can chill later, but we need to
Right.
work hard now. So I've run into that quite frequently. So,
Nah, what's your take
or
on that?
I also had this happen to where where I was told, oh, you're just hustling.
Oh wow.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's right. You right. I don't argue anymore. If whatever
Yeah.
they say is how they feel, oh, I'm just hustling. It's not my job. It's not my business. I'm just
Hmm.
hustling. Okay, not a
Hmm.
problem.
Until you start bringing those millions in. We trying to get Omar to 1 million book sales. Make sure y'all buy that book. I'm gonna put the link
Please.
up again.
What's the name of the book?
It's called The Love Unsaid. I have it sitting here. Last time I did a podcast, my mom was like, "Well, why you don't have the book in front of you?" So this is it. This is it. So if you're looking for it, it's on Amazon. The Love Unsaid, or you can get it directly through me. You can hit me up, omarmrice@gmail.com, and I'll send you one. I'll sign it up. Also, this is the shirt that comes along with it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to buy a shirt, I'm wearing all my merch because my mom was like, "Why you not wearing a shirt? And why you not?" So I have all the things on display today. So I hope my mom won't yell at me tomorrow.
Get the shirt, get the book,
But
get the shirt, get the book.
hmm
Nah, what's your take on that? Relationships.
I've been married for 17 years, and we have 5 children between us and a host of, godchildren. And marriage is something that you work, just being in a relationship is something that you're working towards every day, and I remember times when, not just because I haven't always been an entrepreneur, but my husband and I feel like we have good work ethic, and we've always worked. Like I've always worked and gone to, get my degrees and been pregnant, and he's always worked and supported me 150%, whether it was with staying up all night to complete an essay, whether it's been to help me with a grant. Like, I'm fortunate that I've had a husband and a spouse who kind of supports all of my endeavors. And I can remember early on in our marriage when he was trying to develop or start the football program at Imhotep, and I was not as supportive. I was verbally, but I felt like this is taken away from your family. This is an extension to your job. This isn't even something that you're getting like paid for. But he was so super passionate about it. And it wasn't until later on, some years down in our marriage, where I realized that was fuel that he needed to. It was somewhat selfish of me, to I guess resent him for that. He was doing such great work. He was going above and beyond for the students that he was engaging, like these young men who didn't have male, like role models. He was doing so much with the football program, and he had good work ethic. He was going above and beyond. So earlier on, I can be honest and say I wasn't able to appreciate that. But then as we were able to get older, right, and we were able to come together more and kind of balance whatever our workload is, whether it's a 9 to 5 or whether it's our own business, whether it's friends, always trying to make sure that we're balancing it. I'm blessed that I have had a supportive husband, and I try to support him in return. And now that we're both serial entrepreneurs, I'm so excited. Like, it turns me on. I loved it. I enjoy it. Just seeing him work and be excited about work and walking around smiling and being happy. Nobody wants to be in a miserable situation. So when you're in a situation where you can compliment each other and celebrate each other's successes, especially when you're on the same wavelength, like you and your queen, I just think it's something to value. You know,
Hmm.
um, yeah. So I'm blessed in that area because I don't have those challenges.
So did y'all have a conversation, or was it just kind of started gelling?
We do a lot of talking.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know, he's a Gemini, and he's calm, and I'm a Virgo, and I'm not. And some of my friends, they joke, they say Naima married her therapist, because he
Hmm.
exercises a lot of patience with me, because like I have a really alpha personality. Like, I am a serious alpha female, and typically when I'm doing something, I'm doing it, in mind to create legacy, establish family, build family, generate income, all of that kind of stuff. Whether it's culturally, whether it's spiritually, whether it's financially. But we do a lot of talking, and I don't talk when I'm angry. If I don't care if I have to go 2 days without talking, like if my spirit is in a space where what I'm going to say is going to be intentionally harmful, I just won't say it. So, and again, that took growth too, 17 years,
Hmm.
but we try to talk about everything and put things on the table. And we also had to realize that just because I love you doesn't mean that I have to agree with you. And just because we live together doesn't mean that I have to agree with you. Like, we
Hmm.
respectfully agree to disagree. Um, about everything. Recently, right now, credit is a big deal in our family. So, I haven't been sitting down the time that I was supposed to do our financial needs assessment, and that was an issue for him. So it's like, babe, you got to sit down, you got to get this done. This is not just about me; it's about us.
Hmm.
And it's like, all right, babe, I got you. So he even helps me, with regard to balancing and prioritizing. So
Hmm.
I'm blessed. I hope that we could continue to keep
So,
it that way.
no, it's good. Hmm.
Hold on, Crystal got it. Yeah, I think that's important. I know, in the hair world, being a hairstylist, sometimes, it's better if your mate is also doing something like that, a barber or also a hairstylist or something fashion stylist, because you're out. You may have to be in New York, you may have to be here. You're doing this, you're doing that, and your partner is going to work every day. He goes to work at 8 and off at 5:30, and you're up
They don't
doing hair at
understand.
9 o'clock. You know what I
Hmm.
Right.
mean? And
Right.
they,
On
where's
your
my
feet.
dinner or where's my breakfast? And you're looking like what? But if they were doing the same thing, I don't always like to say hustling, but you know what I mean? Like the hustle and bustle, they don't get it. So I don't think it's that they're not supportive or they don't want to see your business grow. Like Crystal said, they really just don't understand. And I think it just takes a lot of conversation, like you said, to understand. And I appreciate you saying that you were kind of selfish, because a lot of times people don't want to admit that. That's a big deal to admit that. Um, so also
Growth.
yeah,
Just takes
growth.
growth.
Right. In regards to just being a creative too. Like sometimes, like for me, I just like quiet, period.
Hmm.
Like, and it's funny because with all the kids in this house, I need quiet sometime. Like after about 7 o'clock, I need the volume on the TV to go down. Like I need everybody to chill out. Everybody just sit down. Like I can't think. You know what I mean? And then my husband is loud. Like he talks really loud. Just regular conversation, just loud. And I'm looking like, bro, it's 7:15. Like you gotta lower everything has to shut down. So like you said, it takes patience and growth to get to that point. Did you want to read a little bit from your book, Omar? And I'm kind of putting you on the spot just so people can get an idea of what's in the book.
Sure.
Oh, that would be cool. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm buying.
It's funny because I do an after school program where well an apprenticeship program, and we were really thriving in the summer, and we had a poet come, and he was so dope. Shout out to Enoch the poet. Um, and he was so good. So then one of my staff, he was like, "Oh, Mr. O do poetry too." Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, "Oh man," like, oh, like going, he was giving his whole heart, and then here I come out my book. And these, I stand behind my work, but like I'm not like Love Jones, I'm not like Love Jones poetry. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like, it's you gotta read it and feel it for yourself. So
Right.
so yeah, I can read something though. So yeah, so it's broken down into three sections.
Tell her to.
Oh, oh, no. So it's broken down into three sections. There's theory, there's practice, and then there's there are different stories about it as well. So yeah, I'm trying to find something good. Uh,
It's all good. Let's
no, I
go.
mean something. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of pros. So here's one: we wake each morning, we choose to love each other all over again, and all of those decisions create love. Um, Love me relentlessly, beyond my own understanding, and I will return in kind. Anchor me when I feel untethered, and I will be the breeze upon which your wings will always soar. So I mean, it's stuff like that. There's a bunch. It's about I think 104 pages. So
Wow.
so it's there's a lot going on in there, but yeah, I mean, I think people enjoy it. The feedback that I've gotten from it has been all positive. I got 1 3 star on Amazon, and it's like it drives me crazy. It's like 92% 5 stars, and it's like
Right.
1 3 star, and it's just driving me crazy. I'm like, who is that person?
Did
They didn't leave.
they didn't leave a comment or anything?
No, they didn't leave
Oh,
a
that's
comment.
crazy.
All the comments are great. I think it's somebody that's trying to keep me trying to keep me grounded. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Which is fine. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But most of the feedback has been great. People are like, yo, I read one of these every day. You know what I'm saying? To kind of keep me in the mindset and mind frame of being, love able. And it's that's it's been really really crazy to see how people have taken it really to heart, in the way that they have. And yeah, I'm just trying to get them on, try to get so many more out to the world. I keep giving them away, I keep giving them out. I keep
Mhm.
sending them. I was at Facebook last year, around this time actually, and this guy who's speaking, he's a graphic artist, and he said something that I always say. He says, he's like his ideology or his theory is give, 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 and then ask. You know what I'm saying? So like I sent books out to all of the influencer people that I knew, and actually, Sincerely Jericho, my lady, she did a piece that went along with it. Had rose. It was she wrapped some rose quartz that I found, and she wrapped them up. I sent about 6 of those out, and we made little bookmarks. Oh, grab it. We made little bookmarks and bracelet that goes along with the book. She made these bracelets. They say love over everything, just like the shirt. And it just says one of the pieces on there that says, seek the love in every circumstance, even when there seems to be none present. And that's the overall, like I didn't know when I was writing it, but that's the overall theme of what the book is. Every circumstance you go into, there's bound to be some kind of experience or some kind of love that you can gather from that'll keep you grounded and keep you in your heart space, so nobody can kind of take you off of your mantle. So yeah, that's been the experience so
That's
far.
what my dad used to say all the time. Remember, now
Yeah,
don't let anybody
Don't
knock
let
you off
nobody
your
knock you off
square.
your square.
yeah,
If
no,
I don't remember anything else,
that's
Yep.
what's up.
that lesson, I take it with me all the
Mhm.
time.
That's
Um,
dope.
Shout out to
Crystal,
Uncle
any
Umar.
any closing remarks before we go? Let everybody say one last thing before we close out.
No,
Nah.
I've, I've had well, because I've had too much wine and red hot chips, so it's not going to flow.
You
I'm
need the
feeling
book
it.
too. It seemed like the book would appear with the
Mm-hmm.
wine and the
Yep.
chips, and then just like a real chill, mellow
Yeah.
night.
I always said that. Love unsaid and hot chips. That's what I tell people.
Listen, I'm interested. I haven't writing used to be my first love, but then when like school, oh God, writing so much for school and in grad school and everything, I just
Hmm.
lost interest. Um, and my daughter is an avid reader, and some of my favorites, I mean, like classic Secret Garden and all that, like we read together. But I'm really interested in reading a book. I used to write poetry. Khadijah's always trying to get me to rap. She think I'm an MC. I'm retired. I keep telling her, but when I'm,
Oh,
when
good.
I
You know
when
what I'm
I'm interested in the book, I want to get it. I want to read it.
saying?
And give you just feedback. And I'm
Yeah.
anxious about that because really just trying to be on a path of positivity, right, and
Hmm.
love and light. So and it just coming from a male counter, like a brother, is just so important. I feel like like our men need to know that it's okay to be emotional. Our men need to know that it's okay to love. Our men need to know that it's okay to like be, I don't want to say soft but delicate, and
Yeah,
so
be
I'm
vulnerable.
always,
Yeah.
I feel.
yeah, and be
Hmm.
vulnerable, and I'm
Hmm.
always excited, when I meet male authors that are poets, and they're really in tune with their emotions, because like we need that. It's something that I experienced with my father, and people always say, oh, men don't hug men. Well, my dad hugged my brothers all the time. I don't know what
Hmm.
Right.
you talking about.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy it. So I'm anxious, and I thank you for your contribution to society thus far through music, and word and art.
No, I appreciate that. Most definitely.
No
Most
problem.
definitely. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Get the Love Unsaid on
Mhm.
Amazon. What's the email address again, Omar?
Oh, Omar M. Rice at gmail.com. Hit me up. I'll give you a sign. I'll send you a signed copy, And Freedom Presley is my music name. So, look for Freedom Presley on iTunes and everywhere streaming, Freedom Presley. Uh, and yeah, check me out.
All right, let's support our brothers. Tomorrow we have another show.
Awesome.
We're going to be talking
Absolutely.
to two I want to say celebrity hairstylists. I hate saying that though, but they are. And we're going to be talking about hair, good hair, bad hair, and their rise through their career. So I thank everybody again for joining us. This will be uploaded to Spotify, Apple, iTunes. So check us out. Share the podcast, share the group, join the group, get the book. Good night, everybody.
Good
Thank
Guys,
night.
you.
good one.
Bye.
Good night. Be safe.
See you too.